This is the big question. It's been coming up a lot during the last 12 months. Is wholesaling illegal? As of right now, I make this video, we are in August of 2021. As of right now, I know the state of Illinois has legislation. You have to have a realtor's license to wholesale. The municipality of Philadelphia has legislation. You have to have a license, like a city license to wholesale properties. I know Ohio has regulation. I'm not familiar with it. If you're in any of those places, I strongly recommend you look more into it. In the rest of the country, as of right now, wholesaling is still legal. Wholesaling a house is basically what you're doing, if you're doing it the correct way, is you're selling contracts. You're not selling houses. You're not acting as a realtor. You're not doing anything unethical. Let's take a look at some of these situations, whereas people have been locked up for wholesaling. They talk to the seller about their house and the seller agrees to the price. They don't sign a contract. They're so excited, they turn around and start trying to sell that person's house on Facebook Marketplace. The person sees it, gets scared that they're gonna get scammed, and then gets the police involved. The person doesn't have any leg to stand on because they did everything in the wrong order. You were supposed to, you agree on the price, you get a contract signed. If you need free contracts, go to dorucontracts.com. I use these in my business. Now you have the free contracts. Contract that person's property. In my contracts, there is a built-in assignment clause, so you don't even have to write it in. If the person would have got a contract and then tried to assign it, it wouldn't have went well. What are other places? Someone in Charlotte basically went to somebody in a hospital bed and had them sign over their property. Person is not in the right mindset. Yes, this person did end up getting locked up for that. And it was a court case going on and the judge had stopped the sale and everything else because the amount they paid for a property in this booming area of Charlotte is just like insane. Like it was unheard of, and they should have gave the person a lot more money. But the person at the door that stepped in and basically shut that down, and police were involved and the court system had to get involved. With regulation, the states are trying to get rid of those type of people who make those type of decisions and make the industry look bad. I'm not totally against regulation, but right now it's only illegal in a few places. As long as you guys go out and do the right thing and make the right choices, we can, maybe regulation doesn't come to your state. So for example, if you know you're talking to somebody elderly, I ask, hey, do you have a daughter or a son that you know what you're doing, and or a sister or brother that I can talk to? Some of them will invite somebody they trust over to make sure everything's above board. You know, one dude told me in this one situation, was like, man, the seller was selling me the house for $1,000. $1,000 they were selling me the house for. And I'm like, yo, your mom is selling this property over here for $1,000. It was half standing. It was a bad fire. 20-30% of the house left. I was like, yo, your mom's selling me the house for $1,000. Just wanted to make sure that you're aware of this and it's okay. He was like, man, listen, for you to call me and even tell me, I trust you. So yeah, that's what you want to do. Just go ahead and do it. End up buying the house for $1,000. Just going out your way and doing the right thing. If somebody elderly calls me back and says, hey, I changed my mind. I don't threaten to sue. I don't try to scare him or anything. And I just move on with my life. Now, some sellers will try to get over on you. And if you want to record your contract or take it a different route, I understand, because the seller wasted your time. That does happen. Sellers are storytellers, buyers are liars. Always remember that. Back to the topic at hand, just so you guys know, wholesaling is illegal in a few states. And when I say illegal, it's not necessarily illegal per se, it has regulation. In Illinois, you have to have a license. You can do one transaction without a real estate license. Philadelphia, there's a process for that. You have to get some type of permit or something like that, and then you can do it and get some things signed off. Look into it if you're there. Ohio has regulation. I remember I was in my mastermind, and at one point in time, guys would try to wholesale properties on Craigslist. Realtors kept reporting it because people were using the wrong language and things of that nature. I actually had a friend of mine here who's not licensed, but he had to go in front of the realtor board. This individual will go see people's deals on social media or Craigslist and then just try to resell them. He did that to a realtor. He was trying to sell a realtor's deal. So of course the realtor reports him to the realtor board, and he really had to answer to the realtor board for doing that. Guys, I don't teach those methods. I teach you to go out, find your deal, contract your deal, and then try to wholesale it. Or you can just do joint ventures with other wholesalers. That's totally legal. They have the seller, you have the buyer. You guys could come up with a split. Or it can be the other way around. They have the buyer, you have the seller. You know, you can joint venture, but just do it legally. It gets really messy when I'm the guy with the deal. I'm direct to seller. Then this guy comes on, Tom, and then from Tom meets his friend Harry, and then Harry tries to sell it, and it becomes a whole mess, okay, at that particular point, right? With that being said, make the right judgment call. Wholesaling is not illegal per se. Your state may have regulation. I'm not an attorney, but look into your state's regulation, especially if you're in Illinois, municipality of Philadelphia, and the state of Ohio. Just look into it. Ask questions. Find people in those states. But other than that, as of right now, wholesaling is not illegal. Other states do have legislation in front of them, and they have to make a decision on what they're going to do with it. But a few weeks ago in North Carolina, there was a thing whereas you couldn't do assignments no more. You can't do assignments no more, but I have multiple attorneys, so I'm doing assignments. Matter of fact, we got 2 wires this week. So sometimes the language that comes from the state is not clear because it's written by attorneys and a language that the common person doesn't understand. Get involved in your real estate community so you know what's going on. But as of right now, wholesaling is not illegal. If you want my free contracts to get started in your real estate business, go to DoruContracts.com. You can still do it as of right now, so you might want to take advantage of this hot market. If you need a free wholesaling course, 9weekcourse.com. You'll get 1 video per week for 9 weeks. You know, hopefully get you a deal. And I got other free goodies in the description. Just take advantage of that, man. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at RealEstate Doru. See you on the next vid. Peace.